Hi. Tired today. Very tired, apparently. My other arm. This is not the arm I got the shot in. It's like I. It feels like I pulled a muscle or like hyperextended it or something, and it's been giving me more trouble than the arm I got the shot in. That just feels kind of like a bruise, and like at worst it hurts a bit, but at best it's just like somebody's got their hand on it. It feels like pressure. This is my other arm's just it hurts. It's just pain. It's just you shouldn't be doing this, and it's only when I have it about halfway up, that position that you do most things apparently with your arm. Because if I get it a certain point up, it doesn't hurt. It's definitely a muscle or something, but that's kept me even less active than usual today. So, big thing for today was finish The Last Remnant. And meh, it wasn't bad by all means. Um, I guess this is. I would compare it to the end of another game. I'm gonna mention that game, and I guess in an abundance of caution, if God, both of these games are so old, one even older than the other. So I'm just gonna say it, and I'm sorry if you're familiar with one ending and it kind of ruins the other, but I'm not going into details, so you're gonna have to figure out what I mean by yourself. It really does kind of it's just the ending to Final Fantasy X. The circumstances are different, of course, but it's just the end of 10, and 10 did it better. It even The Last Remnant even fumbled on leaving the specific thing ambiguous so that you don't really know. It just it just told you exactly what was going on, and after the credits, and it's just like this game was at the very least published by Square Enix. If it was developed by Square Enix, this company did this plot better. Like I think it came out like 5 years after Final Fantasy X. So yeah, like just come on, guys. But I mean, all in all, it was fun enough. The combat was interesting. I liked, getting a bit of, like I didn't have specific control over everything, and it was interesting. It was somewhere between turn-based combat and kind of like RTS, in the sense that you just kind of tell you, like, out of a list of options, you tell your groups what you would like them to attempt to accomplish, and they'll decide how best to do that themselves. Like you can't tell them to use specific things. I mean, you can go in and like have them not use specific things, and I guess by doing so you could limit exactly what they use, but I feel like more often than not that would just mean they don't use anything, instead of it forcing them to use the one you want them to. But yeah, it was interesting in that way. And I've kind of been fumbling around for what I want to play next, and my brain went back to Tales of Vesperia, which I utterly failed to download the other week. But there was a glimmer of hope, because on a whim, I I believe I talked about it on here, but like a month or two, or maybe even more ago, um, I was wanting to I was wanting to play a Mario Golf, and I very specifically wanted to play the DS one. And I've purchased in the past the downloadable content. I just needed to re-download it, but it would go like 5 minutes almost on the dot, and then cut out. And everything I looked up said it was some sort of timeout issue, and I figured, all right, it's just because I'm using a phone's hotspot and there's no way to force that steady connection. Whatever. Well, I tried it again on a whim today, since internet and my just phone signal and internet in general have been so much better. And yeah, twice as fast, no crashes. Not a single one. Not even once. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and get Tails to download again, because this is showing that a lot of my problem must have been the actual service and not my old Xbox finally biting it, which wouldn't have upset me that much, but it's nice to know that's not what's going on fully. And so I've got it downloading now. It freaked out earlier. One of the errors I kept getting, it was occasionally, whenever it would lose signal or whatever, something in the download would read as if it was complete, because of course it pre-allocates the space and then has to fill it up. But like something like without downloading the whole game, it like the error, like the disconnect error or whatever, caused it to somehow check the last box at the list, and it was like, download is complete. It's not. You were at 5% a minute ago. I'm not stupid. But I've got it going, but unless something ridiculous happens, it should finish overnight. I messed around with some other things while I was waiting for that to download. I attempted Genshin again today, and it's just running weird in a way it did not before. And I didn't have it in me to troubleshoot that today. Maybe I will at some point. I don't know if it's an update that's like changed a performance setting I haven't found or something. I don't know, but it's definitely either it's running worse than it did before, or I was remembering it wrong and it was just kind of ruining the experience. So I was just like, this, it feels like I'm underwater. It shouldn't feel like I'm underwater. The combat usually felt alright, but like just moving around felt like I was, and that's, it might just be me needing to get back used to the game, but I wasn't feeling it. Another thing I did today was drop into PSO2 for a while, and I definitely could see myself picking it back up. But right now, I don't know if it's the Easter event or the anniversary event, but the music in the lobbies was just driving me insane. It went from gentle background music to what I imagine you probably hear in like a Japanese gas station. Meaning for me, it was giving me the same syndrome as when I used to work at a gas station and had to hear the same 5 pop songs over and over and over. And it just, was not worth it. One fun thing, though, was there was a urgent quest, which are the timed ones, that I hopped in, and it was Easter themed. And about halfway through it, I realized that it is playing I Am the Eggman, as in not the Beatles song, Robotnik's theme from Sonic Adventure 2. And I got a very good laugh out of that. So I keep forgetting that these are the same company, and even more so that with like I it prompted me to go back, and I've got Phantasy Star Universe downloaded for PS2, and I played it originally on 360. It's in this house somewhere. I think I may have let somebody borrow it. I don't know. I can't find it, but I own it in some capacity. So I downloaded the PS2 version, and the one of the splash screens is that it was developed by Sonic Team. So I keep forgetting that it's Sega, and like I said, there was that one time that I walked up to a counter and Teddy was there from Persona 4, and I was very confused for a full like 10 seconds before I remembered that Atlas is like a subsidiary of Sega. But yeah, that kind of wraps me up for the day. I'm tired and my arm is hurting, so I want to roll over and try to go to sleep. I'll catch you all tomorrow.